Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side for now. And one of those reality shows that we're doing is Below Deck Med. So for this episode of Below Deck Med, before we get into that, I'm doing this in the daytime before my shift at work so that I can do, hopefully I'll be able to do one more episode before I go to bed tonight. So I'm trying to get caught up that way a little bit. It is very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It is really difficult to work this 8-hour job that requires a lot of travel and watch these and my pole dancing training. I think, back before I did pole dancing, 2 hours a day, I had a lot more time to watch television. So it's, by the time I get done and I shower and I'm just so exhausted, I'm usually have time to watch 1 hour of TV and then I'm in bed. So I went from literally watching maybe like 8 hours a day of television. I know. It was like a whole separate day of just watching TV a day. Now I'm watching maybe 2 hours a day. 1 hour in the morning while I'm getting ready and 1 hour when I get home, and that's it. Now the weekends are different. The weekends is when I do my best to catch up, but it's not easy, let me tell you. Okay, anyways, so let's talk about Below Deck Med. So in this episode of Below Deck Med, I'm sorry, I'm really trying my best to keep things steady. Okay, so last episode of Below Deck Med, they kind of left it that, the crew was all finding out about Hannah and Conrad, and Conrad didn't want anyone knowing. Hannah doesn't give a shit. And honestly, I think that's a product of their age. Right? Their age difference. Hannah's been around the business long enough to know she knows it's not that big of a deal. Right? If anyone knows that she's got a boyfriend that's on the boat, no matter what his position is. She could be dating the captain. I mean, what's her name? If I'm not mistaken, now I could be wrong, okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying I could be wrong, but I think that Amy, who was the second stew on Below Deck, during that Rocky season, she actually dated a captain, and she was the chief stew on his boat. So I mean, it happens, and that happens in every job except, normally. And this is one thing I find very interesting is that, at least from the corporate world's perspective, if Below Deck Med was run like a corporation, there would be no issue with Hannah and Conrad overseeing each other because neither one of them are over each other. They're heads of different departments. But if, say, Conrad were to start dating Jamie, that would be a big conflict of interest, and HR department would say this has to end. You can't be romantically involved with someone that reports to you. So either she needs to, either you or her need to move departments if you want to continue your relationship. That's the reality. But yachting's not quite like that. Yachting is still a little bit, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but kind of. I mean, they haven't really caught up with the times in terms of, the whole Me Too movement and all of that. They're still it's very much and it's not all men, but it is mostly, and ask Sandy, because Captain Sandy will probably agree that it's mostly a boys' club. And some of those boys are great, and some of them are very welcoming to women. Others not so much. And they think that because they have money that they can do whatever they want. And that's just true in life. So many people think, oh, I've got money, so I can do whatever I want. No, those are usually the people, though, that are so full of hubris that they end up falling. And I'm sorry, that's delicious to watch. I love that. I'm sorry. I love it when someone who thinks that they're so great ends up falling from grace. Oh, it's the best thing. I know it. People confuse it with schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is when you don't care who it is that something bad happens to them and you like it. That's schadenfreude. I'm not into schadenfreude, but I am into cosmic justice, which is when assholes get what's coming to them. Right? I love that. I fucking love that. Okay. So, it was a little bit of sneaky editing because Hannah and Conrad's relationship actually wasn't even really a topic this week on the show. So they made it sound last week like it was going to be a huge revelation that, you know, Hannah and Conrad are dating, but no one cared. I mean, like, yeah, there was a little bit of talk here and there, but it really didn't matter anything. The big reveal this episode was that Kasey lied on her resume. Now, this is where I need something explained to me, okay? So Kasey says that she sent her resume to her friend to punch up for yachting, and it basically said that it made her out to be some sort of superwoman, and that she's silver service, she's a barista, and like the only she knows how to make coffee with pods, right? She didn't even know how to ground beans. Like, I mean, even if I was faking how to be a barista, I'd be like, no, you take your coffee beans and then you grind them up and then you put, I mean, like I would, you know, not just say, oh, you put the pod in and press the button. Oh my God. And then, I mean, when you see people make coffee at Starbucks, do you really think that they're making it from Keurig pods? Really? And silver service, she's like, what, is there like bronze, silver, and gold? And Hannah's like, she's like, I never said silver service. So Hannah's like, let me go, because she was having a meeting with Kasey and Brooke. And she was like, we need to know what's going on because we're doing more work for you and what you said on your resume is not matching up with what you are. And so what happened was that she went out and she fucking brought the receipts. You know I love me some receipts. You know I love that. So she comes out, she brings out Kasey's resume, and Kasey sees it most likely for the first time. And she sees that it says barista and silver service. And when Hannah was getting the resume, Brooke was like, silver service is like ultimate fine dining, like. And you know what, if you live in Las Vegas, you know what, they have a brunch on a Sunday brunch at Bally's that is silver service. It's expensive, but you know what, it's so worth it. The food is incredible, the service is impeccable. Like, that is silver service, right? Total silver service. So the fact that Kasey didn't know that, so this is what I need explained to me. Now, in Below Deck, when Andrew Sturby, and this goes back a few seasons, but when Andrew Sturby lied on his resume to get on the boat, and Captain Lee found out about it, they let him go because he lied on his resume. And he says it's his own fault. And he ended up going off to become a bartender somewhere else, which is fine. I mean, listen, yachting's not for everybody. And, like, I appreciate it when someone like Andrew Sturby goes into bartending, or Danny from last season of Below Deck Med goes into club promoting, which I think is a much better job for him anyways. I think he'd be much better at that. There's some loudness going on in my hotel room. I mean, in my hotel, it's annoying. Okay, so anyways. Now, they didn't fire Kasey. At least not yet. Maybe they fire her next episode, but I mean, I realize that there's a difference between Below Deck and Below Deck Med, and Captain Lee runs his boat a lot differently than Captain Sandy was, and I'm not going to say if anyone is better than the other because they both have their pros and cons, but both shows are produced by the same company, 51 Minds. They produce both shows. So my thing is, there should be one set of rules across both shows. It shouldn't be, well, I lied on my resume, that means I'm going to go on Below Deck Med, as opposed to I lied on my resume on Below Deck and now I'm getting fired. You know, because if I was Andrew Sturby and I saw that, I'd be fucking pissed. I'm not going to lie. I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, why does she get to stay? Now, that might go back to that whole boys club, because she's a pretty girl, that they keep her around, but I don't think that's necessarily fair, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't think Hannah would either, because Hannah would, Captain Sandy is said that, well, you know, if I had a stewardess that wasn't good, I would train her. But Hannah is looking at it like, it says on her resume that she can do all these things, so I should not have to train her. And they both have points. But the reality is if she had been honest and said, I'm green as fuck, I don't know anything, I just tell me how to do something the first time and I will do it my best. And I mean, just, you need to show me something once. That's it. And then Hannah would have done that, right? So, yeah, I'm very curious to see where this goes with her. So I have a feeling they keep her on, which is not, it's not really fair to Andrew Sturby. He was so cute too. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Below Deck Med to talk Below Deck Med, or you can also hashtag Indoor Boys to talk Indoor Boys. I'm salivating a lot. That's crazy. I'm doing that one hopefully tonight. And let's see, what else? And you can hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your email inbox every single day. And give this video a thumbs up. Alrighty, everyone. Have a great day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.